So let me catch you up to speed. We're almost out of fuel on both tanks. There is no fuel that way, they're just out of it. We can't go that way because that's Camp Lejeune. They're firing bombs over there and they wanted us to stop. Don't go through there. We're trying to drop anchor. Anchor broke its rope. We don't have anchor. We need to idle off this bank. If we get too close to that bank, we've run aground. We've already done that once. We're in a tight spot. So I'm watching back the video of our departure this morning and I realized in all the chaos I forgot to turn on the microphone. So let me describe what's going on. There was a communication error and for some reason we ended up smashing the front stanchion a little bit. But we got off the dock and we're underway now, so that's good. So we're coming up on the Pamlico River here. Another crossing. You can see a little bit of chop in the waves. But so far this looks a little bit less severe than the Albemarle was yesterday. Is that right, Captain? And what are your thoughts on this?
Significantly.
Significantly. But then we'll be going up the... What's the name of the river we'll be going up?
The Neuse River.
The Neuse River. And that one is going to be a little bit longer of a journey. Hopefully we can get that done today too. Shouldn't be that much of an issue, but just a little bit of a rocky ride. So this boat is coming up on us. They're gonna have to pick a side. We've turned on our radio, full blast, so we'll hear it if they hail us. What are the odds that that is SocioPath again? That would be funny. That would be funny.
SocioPath.
Oh, it is. It is SocioPath again. This is the boat that took our wake yesterday. The first time we saw them was at the fuel dock in, not Norfolk, in Portsmouth, Virginia. And we've been going side by side. Well, they prefer a much higher speed, but shorter days. That's SocioPath. They just passed us. They really are making time. And so they'll pass us in the day, and then we'll get us an earlier start, and they'll pass us again the next day. It's the funniest thing. But it's so cool to have that kind of community. That is the great loop a lot of times, is you see the same people.
SocioPath 19. Do you want to do the honors here?
SocioPath, this is Motor Yacht Nostromo. Good to see you again. Over.
Good to see you. Glad that we're still behind you. I'll pass on your port, but maybe we'll wait till after this bridge.
Good.
I think that's a good plan. So the first time that we met them was on that fuel dock, and they said they just bought this boat as well, and they're moving it down south. Pretty much the exact same plan as us. The name of the boat is SocioPath, which is, they're going to change it. They said that the last name of the couple that owned it before them was Socio. So they named it SocioPath. But I still think it needs to change, and they agree. SocioPath, we did have one question. You mentioned at the fuel dock that you wanted to change the name. Do you have any ideas of what you're going to change it to? Over?
My wife and I are still talking about it, but we are partial to Moon Dance, only because that was the Van Morrison song that my wife and I first danced to when we first met.
Oh, sweet. I'm partial to that one too. Over. Check this out, we're maintaining 17 knots. 17 knots. Wow. This is the speed we've been trying to go for the last couple of days, and we just finally got into a place and a confidence level where we can actually do it. 18 knots. What? Are we trying to keep up with SocioPath?
Not necessarily, but we're doing a nice 18 knots, which is great.
That's incredible. That's the fastest we've ever been in this boat.
And the ride is great.
The ride is better at this speed, honestly.
I feel like it to me. I don't know what it's like downstairs, but...
It's nice. It's really not bad. We didn't even know we were going this fast.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we were doing 20 knots for a while.
I know, and we need to talk about fuel.
Yeah, okay. We're a little above a half a tank on the starboard side and almost on empty on the port side.
Okay.
And
So talk to me about that.
We're only pulling from the starboard side. How does it feel to be going so fast?
Yeah, this is perfect. I'm going, how many knots? 14?
Yeah.
Fastest crossing I've ever made of the Neuse River.
Wow.
And you were behind SocioPath the whole time? Wow.
Nice.
So right now, are we right outside Swansburg?
Or outside Swansea.
Are we going to Casper? Is that who you called for fuel? Huh?
I don't know. We're going to find out. This is Casper's Marina. Motor vessel Nostromo. Slow your boat. Slow your boat. We would like to come in for fuel and water and pump out. Turn your boat. Turn your boat. Turn your boat. You do not have pump out.
Well, we at least can get fuel and we'll pump out next time.
That-
Right
that's-
now, my main concern is the fuel.
It's fuel. All right. All right.
So we need
So
to get that.
we have to go back out and make that turn.
So we're starting to see the downside of going 20 knots. These engines are designed for efficiency. They are the most efficient at only 1200 RPM. Going 20 knots takes at least 3400 RPM, and it burns through diesel. Right now we're only running off of the starboard fuel tank because the port tank, whenever we fill it up for some reason, tries to overflow, never takes more than 20 or 40 gallons. So we filled up the starboard tank last night with 150 gallons, feeding both engines all day, and we're already nearly at empty. So right now we're circling around this harbor trying to find a marina with enough diesel to sell us to fill back up, and that's actually a little bit harder than expected. We also have to fill up on supplies like drinking water and batteries and some other just consumable things that you need to think about when you're going on a trip like this. But 20 knots has its disadvantages. You have to think about these things in advance, or else you're going to be caught without the supplies that you need in the time that you need them. That was SocioPath going the opposite direction. We have to figure out why they're going that way.
1800, yes.
Roger that. Many thanks. Appreciate your heads up.
Why was SocioPath turning around? The river itself is closed?
Yeah. Yeah, when they have live bombing, they shut it down.
Well, that sounds like a good reason to shut it down. Oh, it's just inconvenient for us.
So now we're going back to a place that has no diesel, which will be no help of us. We're wasting gas going back to where there's no diesel.
There's no diesel behind us. We're going to go forward. If we make it to Neuse River Marina, at least we'll tie up and spend the night there, although we can't get fuel till 0800 the next morning because they close at 5. If we can't make it that far, then we'll simply anchor out and go from there. So that's our goal, to make this marina and at least spend the night.
Have to stop.
Stop.
Back out with, okay. 6 p.m., sir. Good. Do you monitor 16? Second. Do you monitor channel 16? Can we talk to you on the radio? Yes, sir.
We anchor right
Okay.
here.
Do you want to try anchoring, folks?
Well, yeah, do we have a choice?
Yeah. All right,
So where do you want to drop?
Yeah, so we're going to have to be schooled on anchoring.
There's this safety clip here
Yes.
to make sure the anchor doesn't fall out
Right.
while we're underway. Those counts, we have access to controls. But yes,
This one?
Yes. Yeah. Okay, stop. We have some kind of kink in there. All right, that should be good. I fixed the kink, but we're gonna. No, I don't trust this rope not to get even more kinked. I want to just stick with what we have. That should be. Yeah, we can cut the engine.
Cut the engine.
The anchor is taut. before you do the loop, I highly recommend that you get full chain instead of rope and chain. That should be a fairly simple thing for anybody to do. Chain is a little bit expensive, but it's going to be definitely worth the money, so you don't have to deal with the kink like what we had up there. We had to balance it just in between the right spot so I could get underneath the windlass and pull the kink out of the windlass. And we just lost our anchor. Line snapped. Fire up the engines immediately, or else we were going to be pushed up against that grassy area, and that would have been bad. Luckily, we were able to spring into action, and we're doing well now, but we're burning diesel, which is an extremely valuable resource right now for seeing what we can do.
All right, what do you guys all think?
I think we have enough fuel to get in.
Get in
Downriver.
by even just rotating around here for an hour?
Downriver. Well, we have no choice.
Well, we could. That's why I'm asking. Do you think we ought to go back to?
That would be the option, to head back upstream.
Yes, but there's no diesel up there.
If we stay at idle, and if we cruise extremely efficiently after we idle here
For an hour?
for an hour, I think that we'll have plenty of fuel. I think that after running for 21 knots for the entire day, we've taken, we've lost perspective on efficiency.
Right.
And these engines are very efficient at the correct RPMs.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
That's the sound of bombs. What the hell? So let me catch you up to speed. We're almost out of fuel on both tanks. There is no fuel that way, they're just out of it. We can't go that way because that's Camp Lejeune. They're firing bombs over there, and they wanted us to stop. Don't go through there. We're tried to drop anchor. Anchor broke its rope. We don't have anchor. And we need to idle off this bank. If we get too close to that bank, we've run aground. We've already done that once. We're in a tight spot.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Captain. He says, coast is clear to go through. Sierra?
I did.
Coast is clear. We're on our way through.
I did.
Oh, you already told him?
He told us. I heard him.
Just gotta hit an efficient cruise speed, and we'll get there.
I think so. Tried about 6 knots.
Tie up at the diesel pumps.
Yep.
Get fuel tomorrow.
Yep. Spend the night there tonight.
Restock on drinking water.
Yep. Go into town, find someplace that's got a gas station or something to buy drinking water.
That'll be good. Man, everything that seems like it could have gone wrong did go wrong. But we came through victorious. Just take some quick thinking, some mental control of the situation, communication, and drive to get it done. Boats are always unpredictable, but there's always the tools to solve any problem if you come prepared. And we did. And we overcame. Let's hope this is the last day like that for a while.